How accurate is the most published book on the planet? I guess we will have to find out. Hello, I'm the Skeptic. I watch videos on YouTube that make extraordinary claims, whether that's flat earth, strange conspiracies, or even the claim that a god is real, and then I explain why I can't accept their position. Before we get into today's video, please do subscribe, hit that bell notification to be alerted for my next video, and drop a like. That would be incredible. In this God Squad video, we look at faith Q&A. Kate has a couple of videos offering her limited and quite honestly incorrect understanding of how the world works with belief and evolution. So I thought it would be great to take a look at her content to see where she's getting it wrong.
Is the Bible accurate? How can we know? In the last 2 episodes, we looked at the unbelievably precise measurements of our planet for life, and then the likelihood of a cell being created on accident.
Firstly, isn't the saying by accident? Sorry, already getting off topic.
I think we can all agree that our planet and the fact that we even exist is astounding, but maybe you still aren't convinced that that necessarily means we have a creator who has purposefully designed us in our world.
Correct. The coincidences and random chance that led to the development of life is incredible, and the scientific explanations for how it all happened are fascinating. And no, I see no evidence of a creator, so...
I really want to tell you that you are not an accident. You are not the result of cells bumping together randomly. You were designed on purpose by a God who adores you.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That is a bold assertion. Can you back that up with evidence?
Let's keep building on these findings and move on to the most important controversial book of all time, the Bible.
Hang on. Didn't you just say that we were all made by a creator? You didn't offer anything to back up that claim. Just saying it doesn't make it so, does it? If so, you were created by a tiny seahorse named Jeff. Moving on.
By a vast measure, the Bible is the most printed book of all time.
But does the amount of times a collection of stories is printed make it true? Does that mean if Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone becomes the most printed book of all time, it becomes true?
Is the Bible true? One factor that sets the Bible apart from any other world religious writing is that its remarkable consistency. The Bible is composed of 66 books written by 40 authors in 3 languages, in 3 continents, over 1,500 years. And yet its themes and story remain unified.
I'm not entirely sure what any of this information proves. If anything, the longer something has been around, the more chance it has of being embellished. For instance, that fish you once caught that was this big. However, let's compare your stats to Doctor Who. The Bible is 66 books, whereas there are 862 episodes of Doctor Who at the time of this recording. The Bible has 40 authors. There are over 100 Doctor Who writers. 3 languages for the Bible. Doctor Who is translated into multiple languages. The Bible is widely available in 3 continents. Doctor Who is popular in over 6 continents. And although it's not 1,500 years old like the Bible, Doctor Who has been around for almost 60 years. And guess what? Both have one theme. So, again, I fail to see your point.
It was written by farmers and shepherds and kings, prophets, tax collectors.
So, not actual writers? That doesn't sound reliable to me. Would you read about tax advice from a firefighter?
All who agree on the 2 subjects notorious for war and discord. You know them, religion and politics. How could all 66 books written in prisons, palaces, wilderness deliver one message? It's the same message. The message of God's eternal plan and how he will save his people. Can I get a witness? The Gospels were written in a time when other eyewitnesses were still alive. In fact, there were at least 300 eyewitnesses of the resurrection still alive when 1 Corinthians was written.
However, 1 Corinthians was written by Paul, who was not listed as one of the witnesses, so it just becomes a story and can't be proven. I can tell a story and say that hundreds of people who were alive at the time were witnesses. However, you can't go back in time and get their accounts, so all this becomes is a claim without evidence to back it up.
You can find that in 1 Corinthians 15, 3-8. Writings would quickly be disregarded if false testimony was given with so many witnesses still present.
But since those witnesses aren't present, we can only discount this. Sorry, but that's just how it is.
The Gospels, those are the books of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, offer 4 accounts of Jesus' time on earth.
And, unfortunately for the Bible, all 4 accounts contradict each other.
What's noteworthy is that each of these books seem to be written in complete independence of one another.
Yes, and therefore have multiple discrepancies.
They speak from various points of view, and it's just not what you expect to find from 4 different accounts. Like, if you and I were going to do a coordinated collaboration and we wanted it to be believable, but it's still a made-up story, wouldn't we sit down and go over exactly what we would say to ensure that it was consistent? It's just not what we find in the Gospels.
No, we definitely won't.
Some mention details that others leave out.
Hang on, so the accounts aren't the same?
One might tell the first part of the story, and the other might tell the second, and it all depends on the author's point of emphasis.
Well, that's convenient, isn't it? Kate then goes on to explain what the 4 storytellers speak about, further confirming that they don't say the same thing. It's more that the theme is the same. It's like you asking 4 friends to tell a story about dinosaurs. There may be similar parts of the stories and the theme would essentially be the same, but that doesn't tell you anything about how true they are.
Let's talk about the misfit heroes of the Bible. Now, if I were going to write the Bible, I might have conveniently left out that Moses committed murder, or that David killed a man because David got his wife pregnant, or maybe that Paul relentlessly persecuted Christians. But these and hundreds of other sins and details and stories did not get left out. There they sit in print for us to read thousands of years later. Why? Instead of only representing one side perfectionism, these misfit heroes of the Bible can give us hope for our own lives.
Spider-Man had a dark side. It doesn't mean that Spider-Man's real. Though the story of Spider-Man can also give us hope for our own lives.
We are not perfect. We do terrible things as well, but God can still use us as He used them. Prophecy is another topic to consider. There are 1,239 prophecies in the Old Testament and 578 prophecies in the New Testament. That's according to J. Barton Payne's Encyclopedia of Biblical Prophecy Lists. That's a total of 1,817 biblical prophecies, many of which have been fulfilled.
Many, but not all. Prophecies have a knack of being vague on specifics, which allows for confirmation bias to confirm them. But even so, if some things in the Bible had come true, how is that proof of a God?
No other book has dared be so laden with telling the future.
Can you offer one example?
But what about the harder to believe stories? I've heard people say something like, yeah, I believe the Bible, except for Jonah being swallowed by a fish and living. That's too much. Well, why wouldn't be Jesus rising from the dead or even the whole earth flooding? I'm just not sure.
I don't accept any of the stories in the Bible are true, as there's no evidence to back up any of them. So this, to me, is just waffle.
It's important to say that God is not constrained by the natural laws He created.
Can you prove that?
And honestly, I don't think that humans would be happy with or without the miracles. For example, if He had never done anything supernatural outside the laws of physics, we would question if He was really there or if He was truly powerful.
I'm questioning that anyway. Kate continues to waffle on, accepting things without evidence, offering websites that give biased confirmation of what theists are looking for. But then, she comes up with one more question that I once heard a great answer to. And perhaps you'll like it too.
Does archaeology support the Bible? The Bible is not a collection of cleverly invented stories, according to 2 Peter 1:16. It is full of names, people, places, stories that can be verified. Thousands of ancient writings from hundreds of sites have been excavated, confirming the Bible's accuracy.
And if in millions of years New York was dug up, would that then confirm the existence of Spider-Man? Ha! I think we'll leave it there. It's actually getting painful listening to the same mindless acceptance with no real evidence to back up any claim. So, is the Bible accurate? Accurate to what? The question should be, is the Bible proof of any God? For that, I would have to say no. So, we can skeptic this video off the list as being dealt with. How would you have answered these questions? Let me know in the section below. And whilst you're there, feel free to let me know if you'd like me to take a look at more extraordinary claims, and I might make a video on that too. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. From me, the Skeptic, stay safe, keep thinking logically, and ask questions. Skepticism is the first step towards truth. See you next Saturday.